U.S. hegemony is built on military dominance. Today, that dominance increasingly depends on space-based ISR. The wars in Ukraine and Iran offer a real-time test of America's edge. The question is, how large is that edge, and how fast is China closing the gap? In many ways, the Iran war is being fought through space, much like the Ukraine war for the past 4 years. This is why, to understand these wars and predict their likely outcomes, we need to understand the space dimension of these wars. Joining me today to discuss this topic is Dr. Paul Callender. Paul is a senior researcher at Keio Research Institute in Japan, specializing in defense and technology. His book, In Defense of Japan, From the Market to the Military in Space Policy, published by Stanford University Press, revolutionized understanding of the military roots and military future of Japan's space program. Before earning a PhD in political science a decade ago, Paul had 20 years' experience as a journalist tracking military, science, and technology topics for Space News, Defense News, Electronic Engineering Times, and other publications. By the way, Paul's Substack, Japan RMA, Return to the Samurai, provides insights, commentary about a Japan that you won't get in legacy media, especially with respect to Japan's civil military integration strategy and remilitarization. So thank you very much, Paul, for joining me today.
Thanks, David. It's my pleasure.
So let's start with this topic. Obviously, it's a massive topic, and we're not going to spend hours on this or days. We can if we really wanted to, but
I'd love to
basically make it sort of like, in a bite size, for people to digest. I think what is clearly a huge, topic right now. How do you think, space-based ISR has transformed modern warfare? And let's start by defining ISR for our viewers.
Okay, so ISR is jargon for intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance. And basically, it does what it says on the cam. Okay, so, the cliche is when people start talking about warfare is Sun Tzu, know your enemy. So you need to have intelligence about knowing where your enemy is, what's he doing, where's he going, where is he? So that intelligence requires surveillance, the ability to see your target, whether it's a missile launcher or a column of tanks or some other potential target, and of course reconnaissance. So, until the 1990s, and still for very militaries today, although it's been taken over by drones a lot, reconnaissance, traditionally in pre-space warfare was undertaken by planes. So ISR means intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance. Now, this is a critical ability because in order to defend yourself against your enemy or to hit your enemy, you have to know where your enemy is. So space-based ISR, intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance gives you ability to see and know what your enemy is doing to target them. So this is a unique capability that can be done by space because it's very, very difficult to attack satellites in orbit that are a long way away and they're going very fast. So if you have the technological power to have electro-optical sensors or radars that have sufficient resolution to track, for example, jeeps or tanks or missile launchers, this gives you a space-based capability that's very useful for prosecuting warfare at a distance. Okay, so space-based ISR is actually relatively, in its modern form, quite new. So what we're entering now is a space warfare 2.0 scenario. Okay, in 1991, we had the very first space war. a war that used space-enabled or space-capable technologies, that used technologies that use space in order to defeat enemies that didn't have that capability. So there were three capabilities. One was using communication satellites. One was using a form of, by these days, primitive ISR satellites. So there were things called keyhole satellites, called KH-11s, that were the size of Greyhound buses, that could be used to look at troop formations and tank formations and so on. And then there was the third capability, which is called targeting, which is the real meaning of GPS. We are familiar with GPS as basically to navigate to know where we are, but GPS was originally developed way back, starting in the 1950s, by the Navy to to give missiles and bombs the capability to land on the right places. So, Desert Storm was space warfare 2.1. This was called in military jargon or political science jargon, the first revolutionary military affairs. Now, today we are at space warfare 2.0, and space-based ISR has been a revolution. There has been a revolution. It's really, really changed. Maybe some of your readers and subscribers will have noticed about a month ago, there was a lot of news reporting about how a commercial satellite company called Planet Labs was asked to impose a 96-hour delay on its services. And this was then extended to a 14-day delay on its imagery services. So Planet Labs is a commercial satellite provider that has about 200 satellites, the best of which can provide half-meter resolution, about 50-centimeter resolution. In fact, some of the satellites can do that better. So a half-meter resolution means that you can see almost individual jeeps at 1 meter resolution. You can certainly see a THAAD battery or maybe an F-35 fighter. So Planet Labs is a commercial satellite image provider that has 200 satellites in low Earth orbit. And you will note that Planet Labs was asked to impose initially a 96-hour delay. So using the logic of that, that means that people buying through proxies or directly, i.e. Iran buying through proxies, buying Planet Labs data, could get 2 or 3 day delayed data on what's happening on the ground. So that means, for example, just with this one commercial service, okay, using low Earth orbit satellites that go, let's say, at 500 kilometers orbit, you can look down from space and you can actually check out what's on that airfield. Where are those missile batteries? Where did those F-35 go? So this means that middle powers or like, for example, Iran, can get access to up-to-date data that they can use to help them target attacks on airfields or bases or whatever they want. And then, because that data is available, maybe those satellites revisit every hour, maybe those satellites revisit every few days, but they can get battlefield damage assessment. They can find out, did we hit that target? Is that target destroyed? Did that target move? Shall we change the coordinates to hit that target? So this is a fundamental change, in warfare, in that basically the ability to see and identify targets has become a commodity, David. Whereas, in 1991, this was, an exquisite exclusive high-end technology. So space-based ISR is a major game changer these days. Yeah.
There's been a lot of talk about how Iran has gained access to Chinese BeiDou, satellite navigation system in this war. I mean, to what extent this has really changed Iran's fortune in this war, especially versus the 12-day war in 2025?
Okay, that's a great question. So BeiDou is actually, do you remember in my first answer, I was talking about three capabilities? One was ISR, one was communication, and one was targeting. So what's happened, different from the 12-day war last year, is that Iran has got direct access to encrypted BeiDou data. So BeiDou is the Chinese version of GPS. Okay, so the military encrypted signal, okay, can give data to Iranian drones and missiles, and it can increase rather than last year. There wasn't this exclusive access to the BeiDou military channel, but now Iran can use that BeiDou data, and it can bring, for example, for its missiles, it can bring its missile accuracy down from, 50, sorry, from, for example, 500 meters down to 10 meters or 20 meters. It can bring the accuracy of drones down from, say, 20 or 30 or 40 or 50 meters to 5 meters to a few meters, which means that a drone can hit a radar dome, or a missile can hit a building, or perhaps even, again, a missile defense battery. So this has been a real revolution. This ties in, this capability is the second major capability. But of course, you would have read a few days ago about another capability that Iran has got recently for the new war. Maybe it was the FT a few days ago, maybe April 15th, talked about Iran's access to the TEE-01B spy satellite. Okay, so this is a Chinese so-called commercial satellite that is able to provide 0.5 meter resolution data. So this means that, even with this capability, Iran has the ability, for example, every 90 minutes, okay, to get exclusive access where it can see an area to 0.5 meter resolution, and it can check to see, are those F-35 still there? Are those tankers still there? Is that missile battery still there? And then it can program through from modules on its drones and on its missiles. Those connect through an encrypted, jam-proof BeiDou signal, and that means that when the drones take off and when the missiles take off, they can contact BeiDou as they are approaching their targets and get course corrections. So you've got a very, very integrated system here, which is called a kill chain. So a kill chain means that you are in control of the process from sensor to shooter, yeah, from seeing your target to destroying it. So this is a capability. These are two capabilities. This kind of combined capability that Iran didn't have last year, and so this is a huge difference compared to the 12-day war last year. But there's more, David, because while the FT and the Times of Israel have talked about this new exclusive use of this Chinese satellite, now Iran has access to Well, about 500 Yaogan and other another LEO orbiting Chinese satellites that are able to give 1 meter or half-meter or 2 meter resolution. So there are hundreds of Chinese satellites that Iran can potentially get information from, so they can use this to find out, what's going on at a particular airfield or a base, and then they can, launch missiles or drones, and then they can course correct and target those missiles using BeiDou with much increased accuracy. So people are saying that, for example, one order, there's a one order better targeting accuracy now. So, this is a huge change.
I was listening to a speech that was given by General Stephen Whiting, the top commander of the U.S. Space Command, who said
Yeah,
at an industry event earlier this week that Iran has now demonstrated that even a medium power like Iran will look to target U.S. space capabilities, reinforcing the need to create resiliency among U.S. military assets in space. I mean, what does this mean? I mean, it seems kind of far-fetched, but does it mean that he thinks that Iran has or soon have the ability to shoot down U.S. satellites?
this is a very interesting comment by Whiting. Okay, so there are two basic ways that you can threaten satellites in orbit. One is through missiles launched from the ground, from ground-based effects. These are called direct ascent ASAT missiles, DA-ASAT, and the other is through co-orbital satellites that can attack other satellites. These are called co-orbital ASAT systems. So there is no way, that Iran can develop co-orbital ASAT abilities by itself, at least, for at least a decade, even if it wasn't sanctioned and so on. These technologies are way beyond, way beyond Iran's reach. On the other hand, Iran has shown that it can build MRBMs, medium range ballistic missiles. So, a ballistic missile of a 2,000 kilometer range can be adapted into a direct descent ASAT. That means a missile that can be used to attack satellites in orbit. If Iran really wanted to try to do that technology, maybe get some technology transfer from Russia or get some technology transfer from China, Iran itself probably could do it, maybe 24 months, 36 months, a few years, not something immediately. Whiting might be suggesting that China or Russia might be interested in shipping some direct ascent missiles, some missiles that can be launched to attack satellites in orbit. But that is very, very dangerous and problematical. So, we're all familiar with the concept of mutually assured destruction. You start launching nuclear missiles at each other, and very soon it escalates. And sorry, but we all die. Okay, so that's the concept of mutually assured destruction. Now, launching ASAT missiles into orbit is what I would call mutually assured madness because of what we call the Kessler syndrome. So, low Earth orbit is already getting very crowded. In 2007, if I want to use some bad language, okay, China pissed in the pool because they tested a missile against one of their defunct weather satellites, blew up the satellite, and created thousands of pieces of junk and shrapnel that are still in orbit, what we call a debris field, which means still to this day, the International Space Station, believe it or not, has to make maneuvers to dodge pieces of shrapnel, okay, to dodge fragments of this satellite. Why is this so dangerous? Because in orbit, you're moving something like 17,000 miles per hour, and you're in a vacuum. So even a fleck of paint traveling in the opposite direction can deliver a huge amount of kinetic energy. There are stories of the very, very, very thick glass on the space shuttle nearly being compromised, nearly being smashed by flecks of paint and slivers of metal. So, if you start launching direct ascent ASATs, missiles, and you start blowing up satellites in low Earth orbit, this is incredibly dangerous. So I think Whiting is basically using this idea in order to get more budget.
There's been a lot of debate, as to why the Russian spring offensive seems to be quite sluggish. The Ukrainians, in fact, actually seem to be more successful with their own counteroffensive. But I mean, one thing I hear a lot of, is that, well, somehow this is because Russia lost access to Starlink.
Right.
Do you agree with that? And if you do, what is really going on?
Definitely. There are several layers of problems going along here. So specifically, to answer your question, as probably many of your subscribers know, between February 1st and February 5th, basically illegal use of by the Russians of Starlink terminals was switched off. Those links went dead. And this definitely had an effect on Russia's ability to prosecute operations on the front line. And also, it demonstrates many deficiencies with the Russian military because of their over-reliance or their reliance on Starlink. Now, before I go any further, I think it was even yesterday, okay, there was a story in Reuters talking about how Starlink went offline or there was some trouble, and the US Navy was suffering because the US Navy's also heavily reliant on Starlink at the moment. So what does Starlink do? Starlink provides jam-proof, encrypted, very low latency communication systems that allow drones to use, unjammable video and positioning that means that drones can be used, on the battlefield, and they are almost unjammable against electronic warfare and interference. So Starlink offers encrypted, unjammable communications. So it means that troops can talk to each other on the battlefield, battle groups can talk to each other, commanders can talk to troops, and drone units can use Starlink to use drones to attack and defend for ISR and so on. So the outage from starting early February, I think it really hit the Russians hard. As far as I can estimate, Russia was using Starlink for C2, which is command and control and real-time video, for its Jiran-2 Shahed drones, for its Lancet long-range strikes. So it was using Starlink for encrypted chats, for tracking, for real-time updates, and it was using its Orlan 10 UAVs. We're using Starlink for data relay. I think even Medvedev went and complained in the Moscow Duma, talking about the crisis because thousands of terminals went offline. So I think this had directly some effects. We can interpret that, on the Zaporizhia front, there were some counteroffensives. So I think some Ukrainian battle groups, I believe that they recaptured some 200 square kilometers in 5 days. And those days, those early gains came quickly after the Starlink terminals went dead. Um, there is evidence that the lack of Starlink stopped strikes by battle groups in Kharkiv and Kupiansk. Russian drone operators reported that they had 55 Starlink stations, 69 antennas that were destroyed by Ukrainian forces. The 76th Guards Air Assault Division, which is an elite Russian airborne air assault formation, were basically ground to a halt. So there were a lot of units that were unable to keep on advancing. They were unable to mount drone strikes. They lost artillery coordination. So I think tactically advances were stalled for up to a month. This is according to some Russian bloggers. And some Russian bloggers, Z bloggers, have called this a catastrophe. So Russia is gradually reconstituting patch-ups and fill-ins, but I think it's fair to say that at least tactically, over the next few months, Russian battle groups' frontline reliance on Starlink hit them quite hard.
Iran seems to now have access to space-based ISR in a way it didn't. And this is the reason why it's allowed it to some extent equalize the playing field, in this war. But at the same time, Russia actually does not appear to have access to state-of-the-art space-based ISR. I mean, what I don't understand is that why hasn't Russia? I mean, does this mean that Russia has not been provided with full access to the Chinese BeiDou, basically satellite navigation system? I mean, some people think that while maybe the Russians, out of pride, does not want to access the Chinese system, and some people think that China does not want to piss off the US, therefore has not given Russia the full access. Does Russia have access to the full military capabilities of BeiDou?
Wow, we're really getting into the weeds now, David. Okay, so I have some surprises for you. You might even say pride has something to do with it. I wouldn't call the Russian China détente or frenemy relationship a frenemy relationship. They do have a strategic partnership. Okay, so I do have some news for you. In fact, from in a series of agreements since 2002. On paper, at least, Russia does have full access to BeiDou, including the encrypted channels. And in fact, there are 3 BeiDou downlink stations in Russia, and China actually uses 3 GLONASS, 3 GLONASS stations, as 3 GLONASS downlink stations. So China can actually access Russia's inferior version of GPS and BeiDou, which is called GLONASS, which can go down to sub-meter 1 accuracy for Caliber missiles, for Jiran and Shahid drones and other precision guided munitions. But at the same time, I think the situation is that Russia doesn't want to become too dependent on BeiDou. So Russia needs to keep its own sovereign capability. So there's actually a no limits partnership. Okay, so the Russians do have access, but this speaks actually to a lot of problems in the Russian military.
If the Russians have access to BeiDou, why would they want to be bothered with essentially Starlink? I mean, if BeiDou is as good as Starlink, I mean, so the fact that they were using Starlink doesn't mean that BeiDou is not as good as Starlink, or rather that China is still behind the US when it comes to space-based ISR.
There's no doubt about BeiDou's effectiveness. Russia wants to keep its sovereign capabilities. So the Russian military space program is actually in quite dire straits, okay, compared to China. So in the 1990s and through to the 2010s, the Russian military space program fell to pieces. So, when Putin started announcing his Russian super weapons, for example, the Poseidon, um, the Poseidon. So, in 2018, when Putin started announcing his new wonder weapons. This is very much, brandishing the saber, but in fact, the Russian military space presence has been falling to pieces. Russia's only got about 30 ISR satellites compared to China, which has hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of space-based ISR systems, particularly through the Yaogan series. So I think Russia is very jealously trying to keep and rebuild its own sovereign capabilities. But, Russia's a very bureaucratic, slow-moving military. So you can see their strategic missteps, arguably, when they tried to invade or tried to threaten Ukraine and tried to advance with 7 or 8 fronts, with only about 150,000 troops that they had available, betting that Ukraine would, give up and accede to Russian demands. So the Russian military is very, very bureaucratic and so slow moving. It's learning lessons right now, but Russia hasn't really built up or rebuilt its sovereign military space-based ISR capabilities. And I don't think it wants to become over-dependent on China for those systems.
How big is the U.S. lead, over China in space-based ISR?
There are two sides to this question, in my opinion. So, yes, technologically speaking, we can say, quite easily that America is 1 or 2 generations ahead. It's 5 to 7 years ahead. So, the most advanced, US satellites are going down to, 15 and 15 centimeter resolution. So right now, not Starlink, but actually SpaceX Starshield low Earth orbiting satellites. There's about 200 of them, and Musk can launch something like 24 or 25 of these at a time. So over the last couple of years, the National Reconnaissance Office has been rapidly launching dozens and dozens and dozens. There are probably now about 200 Starshield satellites. So these give high revisit, very, very, very high data, targeting and information system to the US military. The National Geospatial Intelligence Agency uses a lot of commercial satellites. It's got the best NVIDIA processors in the business, the best AI for targeting, for change detection. So all of the American systems are better and faster and more integrated. But China is catching up rapidly. But I don't want to get into this idea that catching up is necessary, David, because once you have a certain degree of capability, that's all you need. So at the moment, I think I can estimate that China has, if you add up the military, the so-called scientific satellites, the so-called commercial satellites, which are all dual use, there are about between 1,000 and 1,300 low Earth orbiting satellites of, various resolutions and capabilities that China can have access to. Okay, so once you get to about sub 1 meter accuracy, that means you can see a building, or you can see an F-35 or a big, Patriot missile battery. Yeah. Once you get to that level of resolution through radar or through optical sensors, and once you've got the ability to revisit that, then that's all you need, right? So it's basically China is getting to that sufficient capability. So America has better capabilities, but China's getting to the point where it's, good enough. So, for example, it, having, the having really much higher resolution, for example, on the satellite becomes a very, very marginal gain. Okay, because once you've got a certain capability to see a missile battery or a plane, that's enough. But technically speaking, perhaps in terms of resolution, processing, and speed, and integration and use of AI, maybe China is 5 to 7 years ahead. So in a few years' time, China's space-based ISR capabilities, which are already proven to be effective in helping Iran, are probably already good enough, although America's are superior. Does that make sense?
Makes sense. I mean, I think that's very interesting, right? It's basically saying that, China has already achieved practical parity with the US, and that
Practical parity, yes.
especially with, availability of commercial satellite images and so on and so forth, that medium income countries can, achieve, let's say, semi-parity with the US.
Exactly.
And to the
Yeah.
extent that US hegemony rests on US military dominance, and then US military dominance today is increasingly supported by space-based ISR. To the extent that the catch-up is actually accelerating, that obviously, raises serious questions about US hegemony, I think, in terms of, on the next 5, 10 years. And I think in a way, this Iran war is a testimony of how vulnerable U.S. hegemony is. And I think, that obviously will have huge question. I mean, basic implications for financial markets, U.S. assets in general. But anyway, that's my takeaway from this interview. But thank you so much, Paul. This was extremely helpful. And I'm sure like the viewers, the subscribers, probably going to learn as much as I did. Anyway, thank you so much.
Thank you so very much, David. It was very interesting. I do appreciate the opportunity.
And please, everybody, check out, Paul's Substack. And I think, that's where you're going to be able to follow him. And you want to tell us again with the name of the Substack, how people can find you, Paul?
It's Japan RMA. So Japan RMA, and then in parentheses, Return of the Samurai. Okay, so basically, at the beginning right now, I'm covering the rapid militarization and proliferated militarization of Japan's space program. And David, if I could just make a point about that, okay, to close the circle on space-based ISR, Japan is launching dozens and dozens of low Earth orbit ISR satellites. So just one constellation by a company called QPS, because of the way the constellation is configured, 36 satellites, this constellation is going to be able to use radars, okay, to provide 10-minute updates to half-meter accuracy. In other words, battlefield intelligence updates, okay, that can be used to help Japan launch missile attacks or defensive missile attacks, in the case of a contingency or a conflict. That's just one satellite constellation, okay, of 36 satellites, giving those space-based ISR capabilities. So, we are kind of now in a space RMA 2.0.
Great. Thank you so much for that. And there's no doubt, like the space race is heating up, and this is going to be where wars are going to be won and lost in the future. Thank you again, Paul, and we'll talk to you soon again.
Thanks so very much, David. Thank you.
Thank you.